Going on to all my cancers, you have the death card, the king of swords, the emperor, page of cups, knight of swords, the world, the tower, the high priestess, two of swords, and last but not least, you have the six of pentacles. So what I'm seeing here for you Cancer crabs, the death card, which is the higher octave of Cancer crabs, which is Scorpio. You did show your energy, y'all two energy did show up. The tower represents Scorpio as well. The world represents your opposite zodiac sign, Capricorn. So everyone's all here. The death card, the king of swords, and the emperor is about pretty much a lot of you Cancers are being very careful when it comes to getting yourselves into your next relationship. I don't necessarily see you physically being in one, or a new relationship that is, right now. I'm seeing that a lot of you Cancer crabs are pretty much paying very close attention to the people that you interact with. A lot of you are very much so patient about the quality of the person that you're getting. The emperor, you want to make sure that these people have value, right? The king of swords, and you're really taking it to heart. You're really thinking about it, being strategic about the quality of the person that you interact with, which is good. But don't think too much, because you may end up getting analysis paralysis, in the sense that, you know, you can think so much to the point where you can freeze. And speaking as a Virgo, which, you know, all Virgos get analysis paralysis at one point in their life, at least. You don't want to freeze, especially when a good opportunity is in front of your face, and then you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to take it because I'm skeptical about the situation, right? And that's ultimately, too, what can get a lot of people to end up missing out on very good relationships. It's the analysis paralysis situation. The idea of, well, no one is ever good enough, because you don't want to give anybody a chance, right? And that can end up really causing a problem. The page of cups and the knight of the page of cups and the knight of swords is about, you want to be able to make sure that this is pretty much not you. Because in this reading, this is New York, but in this reading, this is more so about, like, again, the problem of analysis paralysis, right? The problem of doing this a little bit too much, checking to see if a person, who they act like they are, who they say they are up front, which is the problem with that is delusion. Look, I got to tell you what the cards mean, okay? I got to tell you what they're talking about. And this is analysis paralysis, and what can come from that is delusion. The idea of, well, no one is good enough. And it's not that no one is good enough. What it is that there are people who will talk to you. That is what it is that you asked for. But can you end up taking that chance? See, a lot of times when it comes to relationships, what makes relationships not work is that, like I said, everybody is caught up with the ego. So you can't bring ego in. You know, you're in a position where if you want to be in love with somebody and you want the relationship to work, you're going to have to take a chance, because by definition, it's two people who are bringing their worlds together. So that in on itself is taking a chance. There's no way that you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be in a relationship with somebody where you get love, that is, right? You get love, and you're not taking a chance. If you're going to be in a relationship with somebody where there is no love, essentially that's a business transaction. By definition, that's what it is. Because love is about taking chances. Love is, remember I talk about abyss and having that abyss moment? That's what love is. Another version of having an abyss is love. You can't bring the ego in. As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, love is the destruction of the ego, the over selfishness that a person may have sometimes, and the ability to look beyond your own selfish short-term sight to be able to understand a long-term perspective, like understanding value. And the thing about it is that these cards are trying to warn you to understand that if you're only looking at only the immediate and you're not willing to take a chance, that's completely 100% up to you. It's called consent for a reason. But just know that if you don't end up getting anybody, then that's also your responsibility too. Because the world and the temperance, the world and the tower represents, again, you a lot of people that want to talk to you. But if you decide that you don't want to be with any of these people, what's going to happen? You're going to end up being by yourself. So if you're finding value within this reading, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called the link tree. Click on it. It'll redirect you to a website in which it has the ways in which you can support me, as well as financially support also from my Instagram page. Give me a follow there, my clothing store, as well as the books that I have that are on Amazon, and my website for private tarot readings. Click on it. It'll redirect you to my website, which has my private tarot readings on it, birth chart readings, right? The time, how much I charge for the time, a description of what it would be, right? As well as a buy now button you can click on. It is clickable. You can go directly to PayPal, fill it out. There's a Cashapp cash tag above the buy now button, just in case if you want to pay me through PayPal. I do have Apple Pay, by the way. So yeah, so the Two of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, to dive a little bit deeper into that is, again, thank you. But so the Two of Swords and the Six of Pentacles is about how again, it represents that guardedness, and it represents, like, you won't give anybody, you won't let anybody get a chance to speak. That's that potential outcome that you won't give anybody. You may not be giving anybody a chance so that they can speak to you. And if you decide that you're not going to give anybody a chance, then that's what you get. Because like I said before, this is where a lot of people end up squandering potential relationships. Is they're like, no, I'm not going to give anybody ever a chance. No, I'm good. Even though you're asking for something. This is, I tell you, ego is a serious problem. You telling people the answer to certain things, and because of people's ego, they can't seem to get out of their own way. Listen, if you can't learn to get over your ego, you can't be in a relationship. You're only going to be in a transactional one, which is a business relationship. That's it. If you're talking about love and all that other type of stuff, love by definition, and I've done a video on this before, love by definition is the loss of the ego. It is to make the ego smaller, because we all have inflated egos. We all think that we're more important than what we are. But then when we end up being in love, it is to give us perspective, to shrink the ego so that we can actually learn to get out of our own way. Because people are ruled by their ego in general, and they don't seem to understand that the ego can actually make them lose their minds. Because you could be so selfish to the point, or beyond the point, where you're so caught up with what it is that you want to do and your ego, to the point where you may not even realize that your thought process may be a little bit loopy. It may be a little bit out of there, right? The lights may be on in the home, but there may be no one there, if you catch my drift. It's delusional, right? Because you're so caught up with your over selfishness, you're not paying attention to the consequences, right? You gotta be in one piece in order for you to still be selfish. But when you're so selfish to the point where you don't even understand your own self-destruction, that's how you know you're going too far. You're going way too far. Because I mean, the idea is for you to take care of yourself so that you can be in one piece, so you can continue to be selfish. Well, how are you going to continue to be selfish when you're not healthy? But you're so selfish to the point where you can't even think past that. This is one of the reasons why love exists, to help silly human beings get out of their own way, because they make terrible decisions, and they swear out that they can't see these terrible decisions happening, even though these decisions are right there for them to see it, and it's writing on the wall. But some odd reason, people still get like they don't understand how they got to the position where they are. Well, you got to lose the ego. But like people are delusional. They take that to offense, Cancer. They get offended when you start talking about that. What? Lose my this, that, and the third. So what you gonna do? You gonna go into a loving relationship with your ego? You're going to go into a loving relationship with a super big ego. I'm not saying for you to go into a relationship without the ego. Because, see, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people misinterpret it because they don't even take the time to even think about what the meaning is, because they're so stupid. They're so goofy. They're unwilling to even reflect as to what happened. And I'm not calling you Cancer crab stupid. What I'm saying is that we need to get to the bottom of this. What exactly does the loss of ego mean? Because everything and everyone has an ego. Me, you, everyone. Otherwise, you're not going to exist if you don't have one. What the loss of ego means is that to go from an inflated ego, an inflated sense of self-worth, to now having the ability to shrink it so that you can make better decisions, because you're over it's not even selfishness, it's over selfishness is running the show, and you can't even see the self-destruction in the over selfishness because you're so caught up with being selfish. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times when I say things like you got to learn to keep the ego in check, if you see how many people get mad at me, which goes to prove my point that people are egomaniacs. They're drunk with their ego. Because you want love, but you want to be selfish. You want love and you want to be in a healthy relationship with somebody, but you're not going to do anything for your partner ever. Ever. And you expect this person to do everything for the both of them, and you not going to do anything for your partner, and you expect this person to stick around. You expect this person to be like, oh, okay, come on. And people really delude themselves like this. Yeah, that's what I expect. And you hear the delusion in the way that they spin it, and they try to make it seem like it makes common sense and that somehow they thought it out. It's like, no, it sounds like gibberish. It sounds like gobbledygook is what it sounds like. You're going to be in a relationship with somebody and you can't get out of your own way. And I'm not getting on you, Cancers. I'm just saying to pay attention for this outcome, because I don't want to see you Cancer crabs end up like that. And then now asking, well, what happened, right? So let's clarify the Six of Pentacles. right? The Magician, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, right? So the Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, again, you know, understand that a relationship is give and take. And that you can go off and be by yourself. You can do anything that you want. But the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords represents, but just know that people have the right to do what it is that they want as well. And that if they find this relationship with some of you Cancers to be a little bit where they want to be in a relationship with you, they do, but they find it a little bit difficult because you may not be giving them the chance to even show you the value that they can bring to you over a long period of time. Because a lot of people in the dating pool, they don't think long term, they think short term. That's part of the reason too why a lot of relationships don't work, because value can only be understood over a long period of time. And that a lot of people think that they get it, because a lot of people get offended because they think that, well, what if I'm dating a person who is not up to par and they're subpar? There's ways that you can find out if a person is subpar very quickly. But a lot of people are playing an ego game because they're not paying attention. What's the point of getting, see, all of this spinning? So then you have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is, again, careful to be too judgmental, right? Because you'll judgmental yourself, or you'll judge yourself out of a good situation with somebody else, you know? And like I said before, I don't want to see you Cancer crabs get yourself into that type of situation. But overall, I do say that a lot of you Cancers are on the right track when it comes to, you're making it very difficult for people who want to play you, which means that you're learning your lessons. But the thing is that now you just have to get out of your own way when it comes to picking somebody, right? No one is perfect. No one is perfect. I'm far from perfect. No one is perfect. And just know that ultimately, in order for you to be in anything real, you'll have to throw away something. You'll have to give up something. And what you'll have to throw away is the idea that, you know, you don't have to put in effort, or you don't have to at least give somebody a try. But that's just pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers right now. Coming up on 5,300. I just want to say thank you. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.